There is much more going on than meets the eye. The adventure begins here.
Cool.
And that's how trades are done on CS Money. With Hellcase multi-cases, you're no longer restricted by random case opening mechanisms. Now, you are able to pick any of the cells containing skins and actually determine what you win. Use the promo code and dive right in.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the broadcast. The name's Sir Danny. I'll be the one guiding you through this journey for this best of 3 in particular, Red Reserve versus Team Spirit. Of course, the winner of this matchup will be heading over to the playoffs here, the European Qualifier. Should be quite an interesting matchup, as in all honesty, Team Spirit definitely got a chance coming into this one, as the guys here from Red Reserve, they do have a bit of a problematic scenario. They have a stand-in in the form of Rusty. He's going to be standing in for Disco Doppler. So that's always going to make things a bit easier here for Team Spirit, maybe. Let's see about that. Hampus is actually going to be able to sneak past through there, it seems like. At the same time, Team Spirit, they're not slowing down at all. They want to try to take over mid control. Got some very interesting positions here. Rusty is able to spot the headshot there of Sotvik, and it does line up. Could go for more here, but it does go down by Sumdayung. And now Team Spirit, even though they do have a pretty good exchange here, Grux though tries to find an early kill, but that's not going to succeed. Dima will. And right now, yeah, this is an opportune possibility for Team Spirit to just regroup and take over the A bomb site. They killed 4 guys here. So they should be able to overwhelm this side, which they honestly can do just now, but they're playing this one very safe, as you guys can see. Gotta wait to find out where on earth Freddy B is stationed out. I mean, Coley definitely sees him, and Coley's gonna get him. This round, it looks like Red Reserve not going to be going for what now has become sort of the standard here in Counter-Strike, good old-fashioned eco. It does look like they just want to try to go for a bit of a force fight. Some of the players have invested in the upgraded pistols. There's Scout in the hands of Hampus. And some guys here from the Team Spirit. Some of the young, though, very close to maybe actually even kill Hampus. Still, Hampus will be able to survive that. Gonna be able to tell the tale for another time. Oh, that big thump from the grenade down Banana. It does make grenades look a bit more scary when they make the big old thump. It's deafening even, really. Just how loud it is. Oh, looks like one of the players from Red Reserve had to disconnect. I do hope that's not any sort of serious issue. What? Does appear like Draken is definitely tempting here in middle. He might just be able to get something done here. Of course, he's not in the very greatest of spots, as someday we'll be able to clean up middle. So far, so good here for Team Spirit, as they're getting all the kills necessary while it's entering the bomb sites. There's, of course, Sumdayung who's still looking like he wants to try to get as many kills as possible, and why not? I mean, he's got the Mach 10. That's the perfect gun for it. As if he's able to rack up as many kills as possible, that's, of course, and help out his teammates there in the long run. With that money in mind, Coldy's gonna get a kill of his own. And it does look like the Swedes don't really stand a chance here, not to mention Grux left in that difficult scenario. Oh, looks like a pause will go down, in fact, because one of the guys here from Red Reserve had to disconnect. That is, it's actually missing here. It's Rusty. So I do hope it's not a very serious issue for Rusty, and he's going to be able to come back in this matchup ASAP. Or maybe you could actually even see Disco Doppler make a comeback here. Not really sure if Rusty is going to be standing in throughout the entirety of the best of 3. But in all fairness, the previous matchup where Red Reserve played against, what was it? Let me think. Wendigo. There you go. That's the team I'm thinking about. So when they were playing against Wendigo with Rusty, they looked like a very solid unit. I mean, on train, Red Reserve were able to absolutely destroy the Bulgarians. On Dust 2, it was a bit of a more closer affair. I think even had 1 or 2 overtimes to that matchup. It was a bit too close, but even in the end, Red Reserve were able to come out on top. Here, though, it does kind of look like, even though Hellcase are the guys here from Team Spirit, I seem to be kind of underdogs heading into this matchup. Like I said, I wouldn't be too surprised to see if they can actually turn some heads here. As, again, if anyone's have a very disadvantage in that regard, is that, I mean, they have a stand-in here at Reserve in the form of Rusty. So I do hope it's not going to be that big of an issue here for the Swedish team, as they have proven to be pretty successful even with Rusty by their side. So maybe something similar can go even for this matchup. Looks like because he's back, we're going to be able to continue on. And it does appear like Red Reserve are, yes, this is a round where they have to go for an eco. There's really no other way of putting it. They go for the eco here, and of course, guys, we can then see on the very 4th round a proper investment from the Swedish team. But for now, yeah, it looks like some of those pistols, only one upgraded pistol in the hands of Draken, but that's about it, really. Team Spirit, they want to be very cautious as they approach this round. I'm not really sure if they actually heard the ticket from the Molotov, but Dafkos definitely knows what's up. It doesn't really want to even give a single Mac 10 there. It is actually going to hide the scout. Okay, that's pretty smart. Not going to give any opportunities here for Red Reserve. But even though they do get the initial kill, I mean, Coley's still sticking around here in the boiler area, which I would say it has to be very careful about this one. The timing, though, it does work out there for Coley in the end. That was way too close in that scenario. Draken does go down. But, I mean, I actually didn't even notice it. I was so focused on middle, but actually there's, I think Stockfish made his way in the B-bomb site. You can very easily now plant the bomb and just win the round just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, but Hampus jamming around the smoke like a true criminal. I'll be able to take down Coley. He does get an MP5 for his troubles, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep it for too long. So the guys here from Team Spirit getting very much like they want to take it away from them. And so it would seem. Team Spirit going to get themselves the 3rd round here. Though, as far as anti-ecos are concerned, it definitely wasn't too bad of a round here for Team Spirit. I mean, they get themselves the first 3 rounds going here. This is their own map pick. So I'm expecting a bit more here from Team Spirit. And they might just be able to show some very good Counter-Strike here. If I do recall correctly, in the matchup against Dream Eaters, I think Team Spirit kind of struggled a bit, Dream Eaters. But it was, I think, also because Dream Eaters, that was their map pick. And they're a sort of team that have proven a lot of success on Inferno. So maybe that's one of the main reasons behind it. But Dafkos, though, has a very good kill on Freddy B. Opening things up very early here towards Banana. And that's actually in a WP in the hands of Team Spirit. They can recover it and maybe try to get some openings here. They'll probably go in the hands of Dafkos. I mean, he's the primary oppo for the Team Spirit team. Yeah, Team Spirit team. But it does appear like Team Spirit are still going to play this one relatively slowly. even though they do get the initial kill here towards Banana, which does mean that the CTs had to spread their defense quite thin now. Still very cautious their approach. I mean, they have all what it takes to actually overwhelm the lonesome defender here on B side. But if they actually try to go for it, they're going to try to have as much advantage as possible. And one way to have them with deploying as much utility as possible over the side to make sure that he's not hiding in some more common positions. But yet Grux is here, and at the very least he does get the trade, but a simple trade simply wouldn't be good enough for Red Reserve to try to commit to the retake. At this point, because the utility is still blocking off their vision, it's going to be very difficult for Draken to find any kills. He's still going to try to give it a shot. There is now a pretty big gap there, so Draken can definitely get something done, but even he reconsiders his options, and yeah, looks like he's just going to back away. There seems to be another round here for Team Spirit, their 4th one on the board, and as Red Reserve have to go for the save here, we can very easily say that if the 3 rifles will be saved here, I'm almost certain that Red Reserve are going to be making the investment on that 5th round. Draken, though, looks like he's going to be making things a bit more expensive here for Team Spirit, and in itself, why not? He still end up giving away the round, sure. If they are able to find some of these exit kills and these exit frags, it still leaves a bit of a dent on the economy for the T's. So here it does look like Red Reserve, as I did mention earlier, will have a somewhat good investment because 3 of the players were able to save their weapons. Because they saved their weapons, they don't have to reinvest for them. They can just drop their own teammates, and as you can see, the buy is as good as it was the round previously. Not even a little bit better. That goes as, of course, the Molotovs that are making things very tricky here. Is between one Molotov and one right in front of him and behind him, so still somehow they're able to survive this inferno here. As the utility being exploited, being deployed. And by the look of things, Team Spirit did finally acquire themselves this banana control. Well, Dima though, Peripher could have actually really worked out for him. He could have gotten the kill there on one of the Red Reserve players, but looks like he gets softened up quite a bit. And Aiden, he's a gunner, which one should come in relatively quickly, I presume. But it does look like Team Spirit still got themselves pretty good positions this time around before heading over towards the B side. It does look like they want to try to get a fake going. It does make a lot of sense here for the Team Spirit guys. They still have utility on their side. Well, apparently not anymore, as they have lost their very last bits of utility here on the B side. Starfake very low in HP right now. And of course, there's still the smoke grenade blocking off their own vision. So Red Reserve, they still got themselves a very good chance, but hold on just a sec. It does look like Cody's gonna try to make it possible. He's made his way into the bomb site. Is anticipating one more player to be close by the arches. He sees the headshot. He gets the headshot. And this suddenly becomes a very good round for Team Spirit to take. They got themselves bomb site control, and not a single player from Red Reserve is anywhere close by to retake the site. So yes, it's simply back to the saving game, which Red Reserve have to follow the rules if they still want to have a chance in this matchup. But for now, it's pretty darn good. I mean, it is pretty darn good here for Team Spirit. You're going to be able to have themselves right now at the 5-0 lead, it looks like. As Red Reserve are going to have to go for what seems to be, again, another investment from their side, which I'm almost certain is going to come through, because right now they will have the maximum lose money bonus. So again, the rifles can come out here for Red Reserve, and that's a good thing. If they're going to be able to at least constantly keep on saving these guns here, and in particular free guns, they can just keep on going for the force fire here. So I mean, that's the good thing here for Red Reserve. But I mean, your still main goal should be, and I'm almost certain it is for Red Reserve, is try to acquire the gun rounds here, of which they haven't gotten a single one. Let's see how this one is going to turn out here for Red Reserve. They are going to be putting a bit more emphasis on that banana control. They're playing it very aggressive here, but as you can see, damage is still exchanged by both sides. Even though they have taken banana control, Team Spirit, they're not gonna slow down just one bit. They are gonna be hitting this A bomb, so it's actually working out for them pretty well. Someday he's able to get the initial kill. Davkos gets rid of the pit guy, and this round is pretty much over just on the back of those 2 kills. It's again just Red Reserve gonna be trying to save their weapons yet again. They have to admit, I love this call here from Team Spirit. They realize the fact that, well, Red Reserve do decide to take banana control, and more often than not, if a team decides to take banana control on the city side, they're going to be willing to put more than 2 players to take that banana control. Could be 3 players at a time. So they make the good assumption that there's probably at the very least 2 players there. So it does make a lot of sense to just try to hit this other part of the map, which it didn't even look like some of the Red Reserve guys were just ready for it. And here though, Team Spirit, they definitely want to try to get these weapons out of the hands of Red Reserve, because if they do so, they shouldn't be able to reinvest the next round. It should be a good old-fashioned eco. But as I say so, yeah, that's not really the case. We can see that every single player is about or around the 4K mark, so they can very easily reinvest. That's another round here for Team Spirit, and I think Red Reserve have begun to realize that this isn't really going as planned. We have to take time out to discuss our options here. Right now, can't really say that even a single player has been able to find any success, really. All the players except for Freddy B have got 2 kills here for Red Reserve. And for now, like, Team Spirit has been playing some very good Counter-Strike. You can't deny it. My question is, what will Red Reserve decide to do to actually change things up? Because right now, I mean, yeah, a 6-0 lead for Team Spirit is a bit daunting, but it's not like the first half is over. There's still a possibility for either team to still have a very good game. Let's see how this one's going to turn out. Dakos, again, the very first man here, down towards Banana, is going to try to get as many kills as possible, but he's not very presented with any of them, in fact. So it looks like he's not going to be able to accomplish anything, even though he does have his teammates backing him up, and that was some very sick utility usage in Banana. It does look like Red Reserve are just back to playing some very passive Counter-Strike. All they have to do right now is just continue on holding the angles, it seems like. I wanted to say that they have a bit of a crossfire instead of going down here in the middle, but in all honesty, Rusty has abandoned, what is that? Is it Hampus? Yeah, it's Hampus, right behind the smoke. So obviously Rusty can't really help out his teammate, or vice versa. Hampus can really help out Rusty, as it could have actually been a pretty solid crossfire between the two. It does seem to be very likely that Team Spirit probably going to be making a B bomb site push yet again. I mean, this is where the majority of the players are stationed at. I think Coley's main goal, who's right there in the apartments area, is probably going to be to cut off any rotations, or he can still be the one who could still find any kills here entering the site. But the way this push is broken out, and it's not really going in favor of Team Spirit, as it's Red Reserve finding all the kills necessary. And as Rusty takes down Coley, this round becomes very difficult for Dafkos. Almost certain Dafkos will be able to plant the bomb. That's one good thing in this round, but I mean, winning the clutch becomes a very difficult task. I guess let's like some of these aim fights. There's the first one on 30B, so I mean, that's something working out for Dafkos. But again, he has to go up against 2 of these players. He's gonna be able to spot out Rusty. He's gonna win the fight against him. So this suddenly becomes very doable right now for Dafkos to win. He should realize that probably the last player could even come from Banana, and I'm not really sure if Draken could actually see his weapon. Dafkos, he realizes he sees it, he sees him and gets the kill. That's a 1 versus 4 clutch here by Team Spirit's Dafkos, as he's able to get all kills. I mean, that was just textbook clutching from Dafkos. He's able to isolate every single aim duel, and on the back of it, he's just able to win the clutch. If you take a look at the replay, boom, there's one one-on-one engagement. There comes the second one. And at the end of it all, the third one. I mean, that just makes things a lot easier for Dafkos to win. Bit of a shame how that one turned out by Red Reserve, that he just ended up peaking 1 by 1. Maybe next time. Maybe next time Red Reserve will get it better, but for now that is an utter failure. Yeah, that is the new nade sound. I don't know how are you guys feeling about the new grenade sound, but for me it sounds weird. It's very reminiscent of when you fire off a sniper rifle. It's got this very like big thump, and at least from watching the Go TV, once I hear like a grenade landing by somebody's feet, like it's a very loud sound. I mean, it is way louder than the previous grenade. So I'm almost certain that's intentional from Valve, though I'm not really sure if the change was really that necessary. It doesn't mean that if grenades were still possible to obscure visions, they could also kind of obscure sound right now. Draken though! Oh man, he's getting all the kills necessary, but it does appear like Red Reserve shouldn't be able to come out on top with this one, but even though they still have only the pistols here, Freddy B. Grux gonna try to give it their best shot against Coldy. I mean, the good thing for Coldy is that it's still a somewhat doable scenario, even in this round. He's gonna be able to smoke off any of the players coming in from long. I don't really like his position though, towards Graveyard. It's an interesting one. But once you get found out here, I mean, it's becomes a very difficult task to get out of here. You just have to win the aim duel straight up. Coldy though, oh, he allows one of the players to pass. He knows the positioning of Freddy B, and Coldy's gonna win it. That's a very well played 1-on-2 as he's able to get the timings as well as the kills. 8 rounds here for Team Spirit, as this is looking like a very solid half for them. Like, this isn't even the end of the first half, and already it's looking very good for them. You can't say, well, I guess you can say that they're on the brink of actually having, what, a first half where they can be utter dominant. That's a ridiculously Team Spirit has been able to find so much success. I will remind you folks, this is of course the map pick of Team Spirit, so as you can see they are definitely prepped coming into this matchup. Red Reserve on the other hand, which this being the best of 3, we are going to be able to see what they can do on their own map pick, which is Dust 2. So we're going to be able to see how it turns out. But here in the middle, they've got a pretty good crossbar set up here, Red Reserve, and yet they're only able to get a single kill, which does make things very difficult for the remaining Red Reserve guys, and just Freddy B trying to give it his best shot. I mean, he gets caught out, and this round is a complete flop. Team Spirit now, they're on the brink of getting their 9th round. It's going to be 9-0 at this point, the way things are moving. And Grux right now, I mean, I don't know how he's going to be able to come out on top here, but looks like he's going to try to give it a shot. He's still there in the library, so I guess he's maybe going to try to find some exit frags if possible, but I mean, at this point, what more can you do with Grux? That's a pretty good kill to get, but when you think about it, he's not in a very good position to be in at all. They're obviously going to try to hunt him down. He should get some consolation frags, but he only ends up getting 2. Yeah, it looks like another timer just has to go through here for Red Reserve, because the way things have been working out for them, it's poor. It's very poor CS right now on the CD side of Inferno. This is where still you should try to get the majority of the rounds, I'd say, even on a map like Inferno. Right now for Red Reserve, the best possible scenario is them winning 6 rounds in a row on the CD side of Inferno. Then we could see a somewhat decent half, but if that's not going to be the case, then something tells me the Team Spirit is just going to be able to run away with their very first half here, because it is solid. You can't take it away from them. All the players finding some really successful kills and clutches being won. I've been quite surprised to see. I would have loved to see how that crossfire in the middle, the round just previously, looked from the Red Reserve players, because it looked like a good crossfire. They had one player underneath the rooftop there. They also had another guy close by archway, and it looked like it's a very good crossfire. And yet, even though we see 3 guys from Team Spirit entering middle, Red Reserve only get 1 frag out of it, oddly enough. So I mean, it definitely sucks here for Red Reserve, because when you think about it, it looks like they have a pretty good idea. It should work out, but the execution, it's simply not there. A technical pause, it looks like. Not sure which team decided to take this technical pause, but I presume it's also in coloration. Probably it's Red Reserve that decided to take the timeout, and I guess it also can work out as a technical one and as a tactical one. As in general, I mean, you have to understand that Red Reserve, they've lost so many rounds in a row that this pause for them, if it truly is a technical one, is actually favorable for their side. This could actually break some of the momentum that Team Spirit has been able to build up throughout the entirety of this first half. And they might just not only have a game plan coming into this round, but they might just be able to have some superiority in, well, breaking the morale here for Team Spirit with this one simple timeout. Because timeouts are definitely a powerful thing in Counter-Strike. The tactical ones in particular, but even the technical pause has its own charm, I guess you could say. It definitely sucks on LAN when, well, even in the online environment as well, where you say you're up 14-4, some ridiculous scoreline like that, and then a technical pause hits. You have to wait maybe 10, 20 minutes for the thing to get fixed, and once it does, I mean, the momentum you had built up is pretty much gone. I mean, it's not existent anymore. And if you have to start playing from scratch, I mean, it could definitely get to your head, the fact that you were up 14 rounds and then you start losing one round after another. It definitely is a powerful tool, timeouts. Not a lot of times you're going to be able to see them used, in all fairness. Especially when it comes down to online games. But this online game is of pretty good importance for either squad, really. You win this one, you're going to be able to make your way to the playoffs of the StarSeries Season 7 European Qualifier, which is a pretty good one. It's definitely a pretty good achievement if you're able to make it through. Right here, though, Red Reserve will decide to go for... It seems to be a bit of a partial buy from their side. Because they have reached maximum lose money bonus, it does make a lot of sense to just try to keep at least, $2,000 and win the next round when we should be end up losing it. You're gonna have a decent amount of money, decent amount of dough, dosh, green. I think that's about all the words I could have thought of describing money. Ooh, Team Spirit still gotta be quite careful, even though they're going up against players who've only got the pistols here. You can see that this damage exchange has worked out here for Red Reserve. A couple of shots there with the Deagle on the bodies of Dima and Daft Coast have made them quite low, but still enough to walk this earth. So right now it does look like Team Spirit are going to keep things simple, as they're going to be deploying some of their smoke grenades over to the A side and probably just make this push happen. Of course, they'll have the Molotovs to flush out some of the Red Reserve players out of position, so... I mean, oh, that's quite the interesting position there from the Dragon. It's not able to get a single kill though, but right now, I mean, Team Spirit, they get the job done. They're able to take over bombs to control before planting the bomb. They still want to make sure there's not a single guy hiding in that smoke, and they're going to be very surprised to see there's actually no one there. So right now, I mean, they just plant the bomb very safely. And now they're again in a position to actually win themselves a round. So at this point, it will be double digits here for Team Spirit. It will be 10 rounds here for the CAS squad, as the Swedes still haven't gotten a single round. I do hope maybe these upcoming rounds we're going to be able to see what Red Reserve can do here, because for now it's been pretty poor CS from their side. Just haven't been able to do anything really or find big success at their, let's say, goals and whatnot. So we have to admit, I mean, a couple of rounds they were definitely close at actually winning the pen round. Of course, the notorious round where Dafcos was able to get the 1-on-4. Was it a 1-on-3 clutch? Well, in general, the clutch in on that B bomb site, that has got to be a hard-hitting round for Red Reserve. Surely, if you end up winning it, I'm almost certain we could see a bit of a more closer affair here in the first half. But right now, I mean, it's just poor. It's really not good here for the Swedes. Maybe they can still get something done. Who knows? They've got themselves a couple of players here in Banana. Looks like they're going to be content with taking over that bomb site, Banana control. As explaining the utility. That Team Spirit throw it back, right back. Yeah, they just throw it back. Oh, it's a bit of an interesting setup here toward the apartments. Coley, though, is able to read that one like a book. Anticipates the other player to peek on in. Now they know the positioning of Hampus to get rid of him. And get this, is a bomb stick control yet again here for Spirit. You're gonna be able to plant the bomb, as it's pretty much the case. For so many rounds beforehand, and I think if you're 30B and Grux, I wouldn't be too surprised if they try to go for this retake. They have to give it a shot. If they end up just giving away one more round, I mean, that's gonna... Oh, they are? Yeah, they are. Oh, that's a shame here for Red Reserve. Giving up another round means that Team Spirit will now have 11 rounds in the half. So this is already a ridiculous amount of rounds they've acquired. But 11? I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to have themselves a flawless half here, Team Spirit. They're obviously going to try to give it their best shot. Dima can't really see Grux, but yeah, not really working out. Yeah, this was good. This is some very solid stuff here from Coley. Able to eliminate the first guy, but also the fact that he anticipates the second guy to come through, I mean, that is pretty smart. The game sense is quite unreal. So I guess it is another timeout, isn't it? Yeah, Red Reserve do decide to go for the timeout. I mean, it's definitely a shame if you're not going to be able to acquire any more rounds here on the CD side. Like Red Reserve, they're desperate need of rounds. Like if they're only going to have it, even in the best case scenario, like 4 rounds to work with. I mean, it is not a lot. But it's still somewhat doable to actually try to make a comeback possible in that second half. But it would be very... Ooh. It would definitely show us that Red Reserve have got the fortitude to actually make such a comeback possible. But I mean, it is a very difficult task. So I'm not really sure if Red Reserve will succeed in that regard. Looks like another pause being taken here by the Swedes. But it sucks also if we actually get in the shoes of Red Reserve. What they've been doing is that, you know, these past couple of rounds, they have been trying to win these aim fights against Red Reserve by having like a buddy system or just having players that can refrag at the very least. And yet, even if we saw in the apartments there, it looked like they had a pretty good buddy system going there, Red Reserve. But at the end of it all, I mean, you have Coldy, who's one-man army, just goes into the apartments, is able to take down both of those guys, and there's no refrag from Red Reserve, since both of them are dead. It just makes things so difficult here for the Swedes. I wonder what they're actually discussing right now. What is going to be their approach? It does look like, because the guys have got like $100 in their pockets, it definitely tells me that a force buy has taken place. I do wonder, do they have even a sniper rifle? I honestly don't think we've seen too many AWP action here from Red Reserve, so I guess it's not too surprising to see if they end up purchasing like 2 sniper rifles, if not even more, just to try to get some of these kills as soon as possible, or at least put themselves in a position to get kills. Because that is where Red Reserve have been struggling. Like, they just haven't been able to find any kills, really. It's been the Team Spirit show so far in the first half. And maybe some of that spotlight could actually shine here in Red Reserve, and we could see what they're truly made of here. Like I did mention it earlier, one of the handicaps that they do end up having is the fact that they have to play with a stand-in. I mean, they don't have Disco Dolphin by their side. They have Rusty. And even though he did play relatively well in the previous matchup, in the previous best of 3 against Wendigo, I mean, it still sucks for any team to be having a stand-in their squad. Looks like our little tactical timeout has again turned into a technical pause. So what do you guys think? Definitely think there's some people in the chat. What do you guys think about the current CSGO update that's been rolled out by Valve? Do you think Counter-Strike needed Battle Royale? I'm actually very curious what you guys think about that. Because I taken a look at Reddit, and as far as I'm aware, the community is pretty split on that issue. I mean, did Counter-Strike really need a BR game mode? I mean, I myself, I'd say I'm quite on the fence in that regard. It's a cool thing that, you know, you add something like Battle Royale as a possibility to maybe play, I don't know, from time to time, get your head out of matchmaking or like the new Wingman stuff. And just play, you know, a couple of games of Battle Royale. Sure, why not? But I don't think it's ever going to be able to replace like the pure matchmaking experience. For casuals, yeah, it's definitely a good thing. Oh yeah, Mihawk. It's definitely a very good thing for the casual player base. I'm certainly gonna hop on that train as soon as possible. In fact, I mean, with now Counter-Strike becoming a free-to-play game, I'm almost certain we're gonna be able to see some more youngsters, you know, from the Fortnites and PUBGs to maybe try to give it a shot at the CSGO Battle Royale. And I think they're gonna maybe, you know, jump into the game, try out the CSGO Battle Royale, but I think they might even try to stick for, you know, the competitive side of things. Looks like every single player from Red Reserve has decided to disconnect, so I'm guessing we might just have to change servers. I hope it's not a serious issue here for Red Reserve, as for Team Spirit, it looks like every single player is still standing here in the server, so I would love to hear what's as part of the agenda here. Are we actually gonna have to switch servers? Oh, there you go. Looks like they're coming back, so it's not too bad. And I wonder, will we actually need matchmaking in this scenario? I'm almost certain their guns are probably still dropped in CT spawn. They'll actually have to restart the game to, well, get them some money and allow them to purchase the Kevlars, the smoke grenades, the fuse kits, and whatnot. But I do wonder, like, what's the holdup at this point? I do hope it's not any sort of serious issue here for the Red Reserve guys. As right now, who's not able to connect? I think it's Grux. So it looks like Grux isn't able to connect. And now the other guy's dropping out as well. Okay, this is just weird. I'm still, in all honesty, I would love to see like the new CSGO update rolled out, maybe in the beta or the beta. I'm not really sure the correct way to pronounce that word. As I mean, you have these changes with the HE grenades. Is anything significant has changed as well? Oh yeah, the Molotov as well. Like, what's up with the Molotovs? I just don't understand. Like, now you can actually take a Molotov, like from what could be a good example? Say the T-spawn of Cash, and just throw it down on the A bomb side. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, how is that a thing? The whole point back in 2012, I'm not sure if you guys know, but a lot of the professional players, they didn't want to do, well, they hated the Molotovs when they were first introduced. First of all, they did a lot of damage. Second thing is, once you were in the Molotov, you'd actually be slowed down. And the third one was the thing that has now become a feature in CSGO. The fact that you can throw down the Molotov from one part of the map onto another and it still lands and still does some of that Molotov damage. I'm not sure if this new Molotov thing should be, well, a feature in Counter-Strike. I don't know. It's gonna make Molotovs way more OP, really. Well, it did get that restart I was talking about. So, I guess you're gonna be able to see Red Reserve make the purchase here. For me, the thing is, though, I'm still not really aware of what the actual problem is. Is it actually a problem with the server, or maybe it's just some of the Red Reserve guys having issues? I think that's actually the latter option. I am hearing quite a lot of clicking in the chat. So I guess we are going to be able to continue on with this matchup, the way things are going. As it would definitely be about time, because it looked like, the way Team Spirit has been playing so far, they could have actually brought us back on schedule. But because we've had, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of timeouts right now, it does make things pretty difficult to get back on schedule, so... Shame how this one's turning out. Maybe Team Spirit can still, you know, bring us back on schedule, or at least on our regular sleeping patterns. That would also be nice. Oh, I see what's the issue. Okay, I got confirmation. So apparently, okay, this is just ridiculous. Apparently with the new Valve update, if there are coaches in the game, they can see through smokes. How is that a thing? How can you mess that up? I just don't even know what to say. I just don't even know what to say, and I think, wasn't it the Red Reserve guys that actually had a coach in their squad? I guess that's why we're having these issues right now. Oh, man. Ooh, this makes things very interesting, because it definitely puts a taint on the victories, like something like Wendigo's. Oh, actually, no, was it Wendigo that win? No, it's Dream Eaters that won against Wendigo. All right. Yeah, it was Dream Eaters that won against Wendigo. So, and they had a coach in their side. So what does this mean? What's next here for Red Reserve? Because this is just ridiculous. I mean, the good thing is, though, I mean, Team Spirit could be mad about the fact that coaches could have seen something for the smoke. But I mean, it has been Team Spirit just absolutely destroying the Swedes here. So, I guess Team Spirit shouldn't be too mad about that. I don't know. Let's see how this one pans out. Right, guys, I got some confirmation. Looks like we're just going to be heading over to a break. I do hope it's going to be fixed as soon as possible so that we can continue on with this matchup. And, of course, guys, don't get anywhere. Why not grab a drink, something like that, and we'll be right back with some more Counter-Strike action.
Place your bets at GG.Bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at GG.Bet.
Did you know that when you make a trade on CS Money website, There is much more going on than meets the eye. The adventure begins here.
Cool.
And that's how trades are done on CS Money.
With Hellcase multi-cases, you're no longer restricted by random case opening mechanisms. Now, you are able to pick any of the cells containing skins and actually determine what you win. Use the promo code and dive right in.
If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly.
Oh, okay, guys. Looks like we're just gonna be able to continue on with our best of three as it is. Gonna be continuing from the scoreline 11-0, as it is a very favorable position for Team Spirit to be in. As they're at one point very much in a position to maybe actually even run away with this half, but the way things are going right now may not necessarily be the case. It is now with the very first round here for Red Reserve. It's been a long time coming, but they finally acquired it. I think they could be quite happy about that. Like I said, folks, I mean, because this timeout took, I don't know, what seems to be forever, it's definitely going to be maybe a momentum shift here, and definitely momentum may not necessarily be on the side here of Team Spirit because we had to wait so long now. Snake's being deployed here in Banana. Looks like Team Spirit is going to try to give their best shot. Sonic won't be able to succeed against Freddy B. As the guys here from Team Spirit gonna have to be a bit more careful this time around when they're approaching Banana. As Team Spirit, they still have all the weaponry and utility they can ask for. So I'm wondering how they're gonna plan on using it. It kind of seems possible. They might just try to deploy it over to the B side. But at the same time, I mean, there's still quite a lot of time that Team Spirit has got to work with. We're talking a whole 50 seconds. So it does make a lot of sense for them, if they do wish to maybe try to head on over towards, say, this B side. They got the utility, they're deploying over it. They're of course going to have to be very careful about CT, because that is where the two guys here from Red Reserve are stationed at. One of them now playing right behind the smoke, but he gets found out by Dima. Freddy will fall. This does mean that Team Spirit will be able to take over bombs to control. And this does mean that they have themselves a very good 3-on-3 post-plan scenario. Of course, Red Reserve will try to give it their best shot at trying to retake the site, but this obviously won't be too easy, as ooh, Cody though will be able to take down Draken, but it does get quickly replied. Sam Dayoung expecting one of the players to push through the smoke. He's got the game sense here. And right now, Team Spirit is really around where they should be able to come out on top though. Daft Ghost, yeah, he didn't realize this. There's very little time for Hampus to win, but still enough to get the defuse. Daft Ghost though has to line up the shot, runs out of bullets. Can he actually land the kill? No, he cannot. It's a bit too late, and now it will be around here for Red Reserve. Oh boy, that was way too close. I kind of thought Daft Ghost should be able to come out on top in that situation, but apparently not. Interesting way how that one turns out. So it does appear like, I mean, Team Spirit, they still got money because, well, they did end up winning 11 rounds in a row. So even if they end up losing this following round, they're still going to be able to invest here for the very last round of the very first half. Dragon, though, gets softened up with that AK. It does look like Team Spirit not going to be heading over towards B. It really wasn't that much of a successful offense, as for the amount of times Team Spirit has been able to find success here over the A side. Dakas and Dima. The 2Ds finding the kills there. Ham was able to find some success, but even he goes down. So right now, Team Spirit now in a pretty good position to be planting that bomb, which is in a peculiar spot. Satvi recovers it. So it's really coming down to the retake now. It's all to the Grux, the new youngster for the team, as he pushes with the smoke. He gets found out there by Satvi. It is 12-2. And as you can see, guys, even though Red Reserve ended up winning, what, those 2 rounds there, they got barely any money. In fact, it is pretty much non-existent in terms of money. So, it almost took a very long time, but this is now finally our very last round here of our first half. Which, it's still pretty hard on which team, hard to say which team is going to be able to come out on top in this round, but if you're looking at it from a more reasonable perspective, it should be the likes of Spirit, as, I mean, they have the weaponry to take down any of these players with only pistols, but at the same time, if anything, I'd be very cautious of the pistols that Red Reserve have there. And yeah, Dima proves me wrong, but there's Hampus though. He is able to get the kill on Dafkos. While it's moving, it looks like Dima though gotta be quite careful about this one. Hampus anticipates it. Is able to find the kill on Dima. So now if Hampus does want, so he can actually pick up one of those AKs just lying around for the taking. Rusty though. Let's actually see the player there. He kind of anticipates Coley to be there. And right now, of course, Team Spirit, they end up taking over bombs to control. They should realize that Hampus was the last remaining player over that B side. So, even so, they do now where Hampus is stationed at. They do end up giving away that kill. So right now, Hampus still going to try to give it his best shot at the retake. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but the double P comes in. He only has his nade out, so it will be 13-2. A very dominant scoreline for the Team Spirit guys. With this being their own map pick and all that, this is a very good scoreline for them. And as we're going to continue on with this matchup, it's going to be a very difficult task here for the likes of of Red Reserve. I mean, how do you come back from a scoreline like this? Especially this is not being their own map pick, it's going to make matters even more so difficult. So I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to turn out here. I mean, if Red Reserve do end up winning the pistol round, then I guess we could say that they'd still have somewhat of a chance. But really, the pistol round, it's all where it has to begin. Because if Team Spirit comes out on top, that one pistol round victory can spell victory on this very first map. It's pretty much you win the pistol round, so you get the pistol round victory. So that's one round. Then you can actually convert the second round because it's a very high probability that the opponent's going to be on a full-on eco, so you can pretty much make that as 2 rounds. Right now, no, the good thing for Red Reserve that they're entering the bomb site, which only has 1 defender, but even he coldly finds a kill for the smoke. So this is still somewhat doable right now for Team Spirit to try and go for the retake, and Coldy's still getting in those pot shots with the USP. So the retake will commence now. As we can see, Team Spirit still have even a smoke grenade and the defuse kit in the arsenal there of players, and they're trying to bring the fight here to Team Spirit, and Grux is able to find free kills. It's a bit of a shame we didn't get to see it from his POV. There's Grux with the 4th one, and almost the ace for Grux, as he single-handedly pretty much stops the retake in its tracks. That's a very well done job here by Grux, as I think he had... Oh, he has 12 kills here, so beforehand he only had 8. It's actually pretty impressive here from Grux. But he seems to be that sort of player, at least in this roster, where you can sometimes see Grux have, if not the most amount of kills in some of these matchups, either the most or like the second most amount of kills. And yet, if we say you end up switching up maps, you're just going to be able to see how he drops off and just has like one of the worst amount of kills on his team. Here though, just made a bit of a stack here towards the middle. Wonder if the pistols can find anything, and they do find a couple kills, so it's not too shabby. But someday, yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for him to come out on top in that scenario against a Mac 10. Alright, so Red Reserve, I mean, job well done. They got the plus round, they got the follow-up. So now they've got 4 rounds here, and is that not a timeout here? Is that really going to be the case? Okay. That is... Oh, that's very peculiar. I do hope this isn't going to take forever like the previous one. I mean, the previous timeout, that just took on forever, it looked like. Even though this is still our very first map of the best of 3, and this is a pretty good scoreline in terms of one team just dominating all the way, I think this game has lasted something like an hour and 30 minutes or so. Like it's been taking its sweet time. You know? It's a shame that it's taken such a long time to actually find out the victor who is. I do just hope, it's one thing I hope, it's not going to take too long, right? If it's going to be taking too long, then I don't know. Maybe this game would actually have to be rescheduled. That's also the possibility. I do hear some clicking in the chat, so I guess, yeah, looks like we're going to be able to continue on with the matchup. Even though it was kind of getting scared a little bit if this timeout is going to be taking way too long. I wonder what was the reasoning behind this timeout here. Don't really think it's of a tactical nature. But let's see how this one turns out. Ooh, now that I think about it, isn't it the new update didn't kind of screw up wall penetration? Shouldn't you be able to actually like shoot through walls as if you were shooting for nothing? You were just straight up shooting your opponent. Man, I do hope it's not in this game. Otherwise, that makes things very awkward. Dima though, he's gonna be able to get the kill here for his side. Dafko is able to reply, but is there still some very good trades here for Red Reserve? They can be quite happy about that. Some the young. I wonder if he's gonna be feeling confident enough to be pushing middle. He doesn't really have to, as at this point it's still not a bad scenario that his team is in. It's just that Red Reserve, they still have a decent amount of time to work with, so if they do wish so, even a wraparound over to the B side is a possibility. But will they actually go for it? That doesn't necessarily seem to be the case. 30 seconds remaining. It appears that the remaining 2 Red Reserve players will link up with their teammate Hampus and Banana. And this looks like where the push is going to take place. Coldy will be smoked off. Of course, they're not going to be able to see him. And will he actually see Hampus planting the bomb? Coldy, though, missing some crucial shots. Now it's all going to be up to Dima here on the B side. He could definitely use his teammate backing him up. Or maybe not. Dima will be able to get all 4 kills here on B side. And that will be Team Spirit's 14th round here in the second half. Not too bad. Not too shabby there from Dima. I wanted to say that he might actually need his teammate Sam Young here to actually retake the side, but apparently Dima does it all single-handedly. Dima is a strong individual. He doesn't need the backup of his own teammates. So right now, both teams, in all fairness, don't have the most amount of money, so it's going to be a pretty wonky investment, but this from Dima. Oh. Davkos. Seems like he's going to try to peek on middle, but even he's got to be quite careful about that. Doesn't really want to over-aggress, but okay, looks like Dima will be able to find a very quick frag here of the apartments. for the B. I think he might have actually had a pretty good spawn. That's why he decided to push on forward. Sotfik though looks like he's gonna try to give it a shot moving forward, but even he gets molotov out of position. So right now, oh, that's an interesting nade. Not sure where it came from. And of course, Team Spirit's still in a pretty good position right now. They are the man up. Foley though is able to spot out the player, but he's simply not quick enough to get the kill. And of course, Sotfik is going to be on a lot of pressure right now. He needs some of that pressure relieved by his teammates rotating into the site. So that's at the very least the one good thing working out here for Red Reserve. Rusty's able to get the kill here on the B site. But again, there's quite a lot of time here for the Red Reserve players. So they don't necessarily have to go ball out of control on that B site. If they do wish so, this is also a possibility to make it a push here on the A side. Dafkos will be able to get rid of Hampus, but there's still two guys over here on the A side. Someday Young peeking over the bicycle there. Doesn't see a single guy, but Rusty sure does. And now it's all to the hands of Dima. That's a pretty good kill here. There's still, of course, his position has been compromised, and Dima with a very interesting spray there is able to get one more kill, and it kind of looks like Draken is in a very difficult predicament. 10 seconds, bombs it right in front of Dima. There's really nothing Draken can do, but he does get that kill, and there's still enough time to get the defuse, but he's still gonna go for the kill. And right now, Draken ends up dying. That would be quite a big shame because he would end up with only $600, and looks like he will be able to survive. Okay, well done, Draken. Here though, this could possibly be the very last round here of our matchup here, ladies and gentlemen. As this round could be the determining factor if we're going to be heading over to our second map already, or are we just going to be sticking over to our first one here, of course. Quick reminder here, folks. The very first map here, this being Inferno, is the map pick of Team Spirit, and their second map, which will be upon us probably relatively soon, it is the map pick of Red Reserve, so still definitely not that the Swedes are out of this best of 3 just yet. They definitely still got themselves a good chance here, Red Reserve. Of course, what makes things even better is that Draken was able to find the kill there on Someday Young. I do wonder where Dafkos is stationed at with a sniper alpha. Is he actually here? Yes. He is in fact here towards Archway, so very peculiar position. Draken will be able to find the kill on Dima. And now there's going to be a lot of pressure here on Dafkos' shoulders. As not only does he have to be looking towards long here as well, but there's going to be players coming out of the apartments. So it does look like Team Spirit. Actually, oh, this is interesting. Team Spirit right now, they actually made a very good call here. They're reading the situation very well right now, as it does look like Red Reserve gonna try to make this final push here. The B-bomb side, Sotfik will deploy the Molotov, but it may not be too necessary. There's Sotfik with the lineup, and that's gonna be it, folks. Team Spirit have got this one in the bag, unless Draken, for only 10 points of health, can still prove me wrong, but I mean, that's the thing. He's only in 10 points of health, and okay, that's a pretty good pickup there for Draken. Does find the kill on Dafkos, but yeah, there's Sotfik right here from the ruins. And looks like that's it for a very